What is up, everybody? We are going to be talking about the 2026 NHL Draft Lottery, and Caleb Malhotra has been incredible in the playoffs. I want to talk a little bit about some new updates in the website, and I actually did these skills, these skill webs, so you could actually check these out and then see what I think of some of the top players, and also you can create them yourselves. Like, we have the goalies too, but you can create your own grades. These are my grades and Draft Pros hockey grades, and you can compare the players. So I thought this was kind of cool to add. You have their stats breakdown here. Kind of just gives you a really good look. If any of you guys have any questions, let me know. We're going to do a Q&A as well in a little bit. So just welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this fantastic Friday. So we got a couple more sleeps until the draft lottery, which is just crazy to me. But here it is. So we'll wait for some questions. Wanted to show you some other stuff that we have going on as well, and some of the clips that we have of Malhotra. Look at this one. Just like Marian Hossa-esque right there. Just the slap shot. Really powerful shot. Models his game after Jonathan Toews. I really do believe that this guy could be a 1C with his potential. It's obviously hard to project, but I just, if you're going to take him 2, 3, I think that NHL teams also believe that he has 1C potential. So I want to get back to the simulator. Then we can also do one of those multiplayer sims today if you guys want to do that. But let's see. I'm going to pull up the stream. What is up, Trevor? If Leo Carlsson wins Conn Smythe this year, does he go number 1 in a redraft? That's an interesting question. I have no idea. I feel like most people would still take Bedard. But at the same time, I feel like it's an overreaction of just having Leo Carlsson go number 1 in that redraft. We can actually do a redraft today. I have that feature in here. We can totally do that. That'll be something cool that we can do. I think that would be, if Leo Carlsson wins Conn Smythe this year, does he go number 1 in a redraft? I don't know, honestly. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like that's a really interesting question. Good question, Trevor. I feel like, oh man. Well, it's his B game is incredible. He is fantastic. You watch him in the playoffs, and this guy does everything right. He made a great pass too, just like Ivar Stenberg, with eyes in the back of his head and near the boards. And in all honesty, it didn't account for a goal or anything, but it's the things that he does that are not on the stat sheet that I think make Leo Carlsson great. He is one of those players that I think that you can completely build around, but I feel like in terms of franchise, you kind of want Bedard more, but Leo Carlsson might bring you more defensively as well, and his B game is fantastic. So I don't think there'd be really a good answer here. Again, that's a great question. What do you guys think, Leo Carlsson or Connor Bedard in a redraft? We'll do a redraft today. If Hawks get 3, I want Malhotra. I've changed my stance from Reed Carroll's. The kid is going to be a stud. I honestly would think about him at 2 as well over Stenberg. I would actually kind of agree here. Let me go back and show you this. So actually, let's go to compare all 3 of these players. So what I have here is, I've actually not fixed Ivar's in a while. So let's take Ivar out of there. I just put him back in. All right, so obviously NCAA is a different animal than the OHL, but what it doesn't say here is Brantford Bulldog was a wagon. The fact that he was even getting the time on ice, the opportunity on the power play, PK, whatever it is, he's been incredible. If you look at their skating, for me, I feel like it's very, very close. I don't feel like Caleb Malhotra has a lot of holes. Maybe skating is one of them. Maybe I could put this to a 7. I think I would be okay with having that. He plays all over the ice. His a 9 rather than McKenna as a 7. And I know I'm high on these grades on a lot of areas, but like with physicality 4 with McKenna, you get a 6, above average physicality, especially for his size and the type of center that you get, like a 2C, a high end 2C at minimum, but a 1C with that physicality, I think will help in the playoffs. You get the defensive play out of Malhotra too. I think he's stellar on the defensive side, and he doesn't get enough credit. I have the projection at 8 and McKenna at 9 because I do believe that there's a lot more upside with McKenna, but at the same time, the floor and the consistency is better with Caleb Malhotra. There's sometimes on 5-on-5 play in the NCAA that Gavin McKenna kind of disappeared. Obviously, it's a OHL, it's a different animal, but you see Caleb Malhotra every time he's on the ice. Like it's like a spotlight is hitting. So I want your guys' opinions. If you guys want to do this too on my website, I feel like this would be a really good way for me to kind of see where you guys are at as well. Like these are my grades. These would be yours. So if you click this button, you can actually create them. So kind of just a little Easter egg in the website because I'm trying to add more Easter eggs. And if you go to here, this is another Easter egg. So if you go to like Bedard, like you can see their stats and stuff. Burst speed. This is wrong. A lot of it is in beta, and especially on this page. But I think that this is just kind of cool in case you guys want to kind of see the player cards. So 15% shot. Wait, what? I did not realize that. That dude's accurate as heck. Obviously, let's rip McDavid's career in the Oilers because I feel like he's not going to stay there. And I feel bad for their fans. But what is up, Anthony? I love it. You're in the house. Got to do some Panthers stuff today. Anaheim scouts are very good. They got flack on Carlson over Fantilli, Seneca being that high. Both are legit studs. Can't teach hockey sense. All right. So I obviously wasn't big and no one watched me in 2023 or 2024. It's actually kind of crazy that you guys are watching me in 2025 and 2026 after not having any of a presence back then. But in terms of me with Leo Carlson, I really did like Leo Carlson. I liked the Swedish prospects, but I'm going to be honest on Seneca. I had no idea that guy was going to go top 5. That was like a shock to me. I obviously saw Hattie and Sebastian Highs. They were on the Lockdown podcast together, and they kind of said, Seneca's going to go 3-4 hours before the draft. And I knew at that point that it was probably a possibility, but I was not thinking that he was going to be that good. Like I thought that there was a shot that I think Caden Lindstrom was going to be that guy. And I know he had the back injury and stuff, but the thing with Beckett Seneca is he changed my opinion and my perspective on a lot of different things. Like when you grow a significant amount in 1 year and have to relearn how to play with that new body, that actually has been one thing that I've taken from like the Beckett Seneca. Like Riker Lee, he was higher on my list because of that. You have a guy like Wyatt Cullen who's also doing the same thing. Like you can produce to a point and be like, okay, that's good. But are you producing and also growing? So you have to battle all of those different things. And there's so many different things that come into play. There's so many subtle details that you have to watch, especially in like these hockey prospects that I'm learning. Like I'm trying to lean on a lot of these guys like that have done it before, like Russ Cohen and Mike Morial and some of these other guys, kind of seeing how Bob McKenzie, and seeing how they've kind of tailored their scouting. And sometimes it's not like talking to them personally. I've never talked to Bob McKenzie, but I'm just like kind of researching them and trying to figure out exactly how to become a better evaluator. And I feel like one of those things that's changed my mind is, Russ Cohen and Shane Malloy saying like about the B game. Like the B game stuff is very, very groundbreaking to me because I was a big skill guy. Like Vigo Bjork would probably be top 3 in my rankings before I learned about the B game stuff. And it's just about like, what are these players going to do away from the puck? And the thing about Leo Carlson is that's his game. Like Adam Fantilli did also have a good B game, but he was more of a weapon, an offensive weapon for the Wolverines. when he was playing in the NCAA. Like Leo Carlsson was a stud internationally in Sweden. Like he always just produced anytime. And I think that's the same thing with Anton Frondell. I think you've seen a lot of these Swedish players come in and play harder. They're tougher to push off the puck. They're smarter. You have to have a lot of good hockey sense as well as your pace and the transition game to be able to transition from the SHL to the North America game, because obviously the bigger ring size. But in terms of like these Swedish prospects, I think that they're coming out a lot better than some of these other leagues because you're playing against that professional talent. That professional talent is really good. Usually there are players on your roster or opponents that you're playing against that had that NHL time, and that's invaluable in my opinion. So great stuff on the Anaheim Scouts. Like I completely agree. Pat Verbeek is absurdly talented at what he does. Thank you. The Giggities. I love this name. Big Family Guy fan. For that to happen, McKinnon has to be super mid. What is what do you mean? For what to happen? Really need to will Ivar to St. Louis. Ivar and Otto, baby. Bring them both. I love it. I think that let's run a little mock draft here. Let's run a little 7-round quick mock, and we could use the Blues. Try to trade up. Okay, so Ivar went there. At this position, like let's say you don't get Ivar Stenberg. All right, actually, let's change this up. You don't get Ivar Stenberg, but you get a guy like Daxon Rudolph, who I do believe that will be a target for the Blues. And then I'm going to target heavy upside here. So I'm either going to target a guy like Maddox Desjardins or Ilya Morozov, because I don't necessarily think with Justin Carbonneau that you need Nikita Klepov or JP Hurlbert. And I do feel like it would kind of be Maddox. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Again, I'm streaming now, so it's going to kind of screw up a little bit of the quality video. But all right, I think, let me know what you guys think, but I think I'm going to go Maddox or even a Wyatt Cullen here. I don't know. I just feel like Maddox would be so good. I did talk to William Hawkinson today. He gave me a lot of his time, and we talked a lot. So that interview is going to be posted soon. I have a bunch of interviews on the deck waiting. I got Pantelis as well that I've been starting to do clips on. And I got a Malte Gustafson and Wyatt Cullen coming soon. So all four of these range. I'm going to go Maddox. I just think that the value in getting a guy like him is just too good. I know it's a little high, and I continue to put Maddox there. But with St. Louis, you have a team that has just a ton of picks. Why would you not just go with the best upside available? And I've been making a lot of changes to the site, so let me know if you guys have been using it. We just crossed over 80,000 users, visitors. So thank you. I'm gonna start using Chrome, honestly. But if any of you guys have any like website knowledge, or not website knowledge, like internet knowledge about how to speed up my computer, please let me know. This is not my Q zone per se. I think for this pick, I don't want to go Tommy Blyle because you already took Daxon Rudolph. I think Elton Hermanson actually would be a better fit there. And then obviously I think Casey Mutron would go higher than this. I got to actually change that. Try to go back to the stream. Any questions? I do have to answer a couple. trying to go back. Trying to see the live chat. All right, so while my computer is doing this, we wanted to take a look at the Ivar Stenberg to St. Louis. I think 3 picks like this would actually be pretty good. In terms of who you would get at the later rounds, you guys have a lot of picks. I think you could trade up. You could totally get more into that second round too. Same with whoever's in the East. Right now, Quinn Hughes is a front runner if they beat Colorado. Oh, Conn Smythe. Totally get you. Totally get you what you mean. When you evaluate Oliver, do you feel he has the ability to where he can make passes in that nobody else can, which means he could do it with the eyes in the back of his head and his anticipation level is crazy? For me, when I see Oliver Savanto, I see one of the players that is like mainly safe. I feel safe when he's on the ice. Like, I feel like he helps his teammates also feel safe. He creates havoc. He's that true power forward-esque player. He's done it internationally. He's doing it in Liga, in a top 5 league, maybe top 6 league in the world professionally. And for me, I like that value. And also you're getting him at a younger age because I think he's a September 08 birthday. If not, he's one of the other months very close, maybe August. I think he's September. I'm gonna lock in my answer on September. I gotta pull it up, but I'm pretty sure he's a September birthday. It's so many prospects to remember. But for Oliver Savanto, I think that the floor is very high, and you're getting a guy that does have a little bit of upside offensively, but it's not where he's like a 7-8 type of passer or vision. I would probably put him in that 6 range. I think that he's above average for a prospect in terms of the being a power forward. I think he's not like a McKenna. I don't think that even Porter Martone read the ice better and had better hockey sense and vision. But I would put him at a nice 6, maybe 5.5. The question is, when we analyze these tall centers 6'3" and above, is it hard to determine how fast they are because of how long their strides are when they cover the more ground? Well, for Oliver Savanto, I wouldn't put him as like a blazer on the ice. I think that he can definitely get to a lot of space, cover a lot of space in a very quick amount of time, especially on the defensive side. I think that he's one of those players that covers really well, and his position, his reaction time is pretty good. So all of that together, I feel like he's a pretty good skater, but I wouldn't say his like straight line skating is like fantastic. I don't see like a 23-mile-per-hour burst coming out of nowhere on him. But in terms of like 21, 22 mile per hour, I could totally, maybe 21 mile per hour, I could see that. And when he's got some speed, when he's building up some speed, I think that the main part of Oliver Savanto's value is that he creates havoc and he's smart defensively in the B game. He is one of those players that I feel like is going to have wins above replacement, like a war for NHL, but in terms of like defensively and on the offensive side, he's going to bring you value in both of those areas. And for me, like Oliver Savanto is just one of those guys that I could totally see locking in a 3C for a very long time. And obviously, if like Anton Lundell's a 3C, so let's not get all caught up on, I'm not going to take a 3C there, but I'm just saying, like, if you are the Panthers, there's really no reason to put this guy in a 2C or 1C spot. So for the Panthers, he's a 3C. But for other teams, like Detroit has really good centers actually in their system. Well, ones that I like. I think that he's a better player, in my opinion, than a Michael Branson Nygaard. And he went near this range. So I feel like it's the floor there. I think his value is the floor. I'm not as high on some of the defenders, so I wouldn't mind Malhotra at 2 or 3. Yeah, the problem with evaluating this class in the top 3 is one of my commenters in one of the live streams said an incredible fact of there has never been, since 2002, a center has always been drafted in the top 3. I really love that statement, and I really love that fact, because if Gavin McKenna and Stenberg are obviously not centers, so Malhotra would be that fit. I feel like GMs wanted it to be Tynan Lawrence for a long time, and for good reason. Tynan is a really great defensive player, and I feel like his offensive upside is not as high as Caleb Malhotra has shown this year. So I feel like that's why we're pushing up Malhotra too, and Malhotra is just incredible in terms of his second half production and his rise this season and the playoffs. So for me, if you think Malhotra is a 2C, you do not select him before this defensive class, because there has to be at least 2 top pair defensemen in this class on a lot of people's boards. Like, there has to be at least 2 of them. Like, I could make the argument for 3 or 4 at this point. Like, I could make the argument that Albert Schmitz could be a top pair defenseman and be physical, and in terms of the playoffs, be a guy that you hate to play against, and he's a smart player. And he's more NHL ready than any of the other defensemen. In terms of Verhoff, he definitely has top pair upside, but the boom or bust kind of percentage is pretty high there. With Chase Reed, the offensive ability and the shot, it's just fantastic. And then we haven't even talked about Carson Karels, who's number 1 on most people's boards defensively. So in my opinion, like, if you don't think Caleb Malhotra is a 1C, then he should not be in this discussion. But the fact that he is in this discussion means that teams think he's a 1C. And if you select him and you start putting him in a 2C, don't be scared, because at the same time, like, yes, Dylan Larkin has had a very productive career as a 1C, but would he benefit more as a 2C on a championship team? 100% if you have a better 1C. If Caleb Malhotra is forced to be a 2C, that's a really good team. That's a Stanley Cup contending team. In my opinion, like I've continued to say, you need 2 nearly 1C players in the middle of the depth chart there. And even teams want to go 3 centers deep now. And it's a copycat league. We've seen the Panthers have success doing it, so obviously that's going to play a part in this. But Caleb Malhotra is also a modern-day type of center with a lot of the instincts that we've seen in past, even 2010 centers, where it's the major compete level, the gnat around the ice. He's a mosquito out there. You do not want to play against him. He Milton Gastrin is really fun to watch for me last year. And for me, it was just like, he was so tough to play against. When you watched, it was exhausting. Same thing. Who was it? Jacob Wozniak actually said, the 55th overall pick to the Knights, I believe. I know he went to the Knights. I just don't know if he was 55 or I think he was. So he actually said that Anton Frondel, he wanted the game to finish because it was just annoying. He didn't want to play against him. I feel like Malhotra's the same way in the OHL. And he just had an explosion. He skyrocketed with his production, his skill, his potential, his floor increased. Everything increased at the right time. And that's why he's in these conversations. So like that comment there. Hope you're doing well, guys. Trevor, any extremely fast players in this draft that might be sleeping on? Honestly, like, one of my favorite skaters in this class is actually high, but he's Carson Karels. I love the way he skates. He's so effortless. I would say Tommy Bleal is not somebody now that we can put in that range because everybody kind of knows it now. But he's also one of those really nice skaters. I would say, like, Wyatt Cullen is pretty nice. I like his skating. I think that he's just majestic out there in times. Again, shout out Link from New Wave Hockey. I was not as high as he was, and I'm still not as high as he is, but he was the one that was like, Anthony, stop being an idiot. This guy's good. And I was like, all right. So that is not one that I found. It was Link. So don't even think that I found him, because I did not. Wyatt Cullen has been good for a very long time, and I was a late pioneer to that terrain for sure. I want to be able to so my goal, I could come back to this, but my goal with the prospects hub is to be able to sort by the traits. And right now I'm continuing to grade every single player. Obviously I haven't graded Ivar because for some reason international players did not pop up in my first update. Well, not my first update, my first live update, because this has been in the beta for a while. So for me, like, I wanted to just sort by trait of what I've seen. But in terms of like good skaters, I love watching JP out there. I think that the Rucks are both pretty good skaters. I think Villeneuve is a pretty good skater. There's not like, who is this? Colin Potter, of course. I think Colin Potter would have been the best skater in this draft class for sure. I'm kind of drawing a blank. I know there's 2 guys I'm missing that are really good skaters, but I like the way that Thomas Galvis actually skates around the ice, but he's smaller. He's an overager. I'm not sure if he's going to get. I think that would actually count as a sleeper, but that's kind of cheating. I don't know. This is a really good question. Like a lot of the skaters to me in this class, like you can say Gavin McKenna, Ivar Stenberg, but I mean Vigo Bjork is a good skater too. I love the way that he plays on the ice. Like he's majestic as well. So in terms of that, Don, you need to adjust the creative ranking setting because it only allows you to choose your top 5. It doesn't allow you to do a top 60. Okay, I actually am working on that currently. I'm trying to put in more players in the rankings, so thank you. I want to do a I tried to sort it by like top 16 or top 10, top 16, top 32, top 50, top 64, and then top 100 and all the way down. So thank you for letting me know that, but that is still in beta. I have to update it. I actually did update the colors, so let me know if you guys like that. But let me know. If I was Kyle Davidson for the Hawks, I would look at a logjam the Sabres have left-handed defenseman. He needs to get Byram, also try to get Greenway from them. Honestly, like I was a big Byram guy during that 2019 draft. The concussions just hurt him, hurt his development, but he's looking good now. I would take that run too. I like the younger defensemen that have more potential. I would also like, what do you guys think about like Simone Nemec? Because when I saw him live in Chicago, obviously, he had a hat trick in overtime, but I was just like, this guy's awesome. Don, do you think the reason why we don't see a ton of Finnish prospects over the years, the last few drafts, has to do with these guys are going to college hockey or going to junior hockey in Canada? I honestly don't think so. I feel like talent will always find its way in no matter what. And it's for me, it's just sometimes there are nations that have really good development generations and sometimes they just don't. I feel like Finland is growing and continuing to grow the game, and there's going to be a lot more in the next 5 to 10 years that come out, especially all around the world. The talent coming into the NHL, especially into these the younger generation of hockey players, has just been fantastic. That's why I think the explosion in the prospect space is going to blow up, because you're going to want to know what these guys are doing 5 years out at this point. Like we're already having huge conversations about Cato O'Rourke, and it's just it's a really interesting type of development because I think that the NHL and hockey is continuing to grow. So for Finland, for me, I feel like it's just a matter of time before they have like a Sweden type of rise. If Malhotra goes second, is that the greatest jump from preseason all time? Wasn't he like 20? Yeah, I don't even think he was 20 on most people's boards. Greatest jump of all time. Let's try to think about this. Well, it's kind of like the reverse Cole Iserman. Some players, or like Aaron Kiviharju, you remember that? So it could be. I'm trying to think of somebody that has jumped up like this. Where was Beckett Seneca ranked? Where was he ranked preseason? That would be an interesting thought. Klepov, they need a second wing. Oh, for the Blues, yeah. Sorry, you guys sent a lot of messages. How high does Cullen go now? Seems like a lot of hype. I think top 15. O'Brien went 8, and he's better than Malhotra. I'm not going to complain with anyone saying O'Brien is great. I think that he is fantastic. His playmaking is unreal. He is a very, very good player. I don't know on this one. I also think 2025 was a very, very good draft, and a lot of players are going to become superstars. You're okay. It could be worse buffering. Thank you. How you doing, Isildur? That's a great comparison. Malhotra versus Jacob Byrne versus Alexei Joseph. That is actually interesting. Okay, so let's go here. I feel like, oh man, they all are so different. Like Alexei Joseph is 6'5", so you kind of want that upside. And Alexei Joseph to me could go into the Roger McQueen route where he was a very heralded prospect and then still went top 10. But I don't necessarily know like coming out, Roger McQueen was just fantastic. The highlights are what you got with him. And I think the Ducks got an absolute steal. I think in a redraft he could go top 5 somewhere. Even I don't even know where you could put him. I love Roger McQueen. His cat's named Potato. If anybody wants that information, but for me, it's like Malhotra versus Jake O'Brien. I don't want to answer this. This is tough. Okay, for one, Jake O'Brien provides a lot of value on the power play because of his vision, his elite vision, his great playmaking, and I think that Malhotra even said that Jake O'Brien's been helping him with that. For Malhotra, he has a better B game. I think that his defense and his compete level on the defensive side in transition is better than Jake O'Brien's, but Jake O'Brien has a huge offensive upside, especially with better line mates too. Like Jake O'Brien had Vanacker and Adam Banach on his line this year. Malhotra had Dennis, who's a draft eligible and very, very good, but not going to get a first round pedigree. And for me, I feel like if you put better line mates with Malhotra too, he would actually explode even more. He was the play driver for their team too. I think Jake O'Brien can be utilized in a multitude of different ways. I do think that Malhotra has that 1C potential as well, and Jake O'Brien offensively has that, but I'm not sure defensively. He's still a very good player defensively. In Alexei Joseph, I'd probably, at this point in time, it would probably be Malhotra, Alexei Joseph, Jake O'Brien, but at the same time, it's like I think they're all could be stars. That's a really tough question. I hate answering that. How do you say Oliver was further ahead in his development than Anton Lundell? I do not say that. No. That is not what I said. I do not believe that whatsoever. That's not me. I did not say that. Just a wild guess of yours. Which of the later round picks will become an elite level player like Kucherov? I like this question. So I'm going to go back. It kind of depends on how the board falls, but there's a lot of good value. Like in terms of, let me reset. Like the first name that comes to mind to me is like Jakub Vanok, however you say it. He's somebody that right here, 6'2", just a ton of defensive talent. I just really like this player. I think that he could go in the top 40. Casey Mutrin, if he falls this far, could be a very top of the line solid player. Thomas Vandenberg is one that I really, really like as well. I mean, just a throw out there for a 7th round pick or like a Ethan Wittenbach or Emmett Finney, 5th or 7th round. Like I'm going Calder Varga. Calder Varga's a beast, man. I have fallen in love with him 2 years ago. Like I just really like his game. Oliver Merniques could also be one of those players because you get the upside there, and he's been playing with an injury all year. So injuries play a big part in terms of draft year, but like Merrick Vanacker had a really hurt shoulder, and he was a first-round pick and then played, and he was still playing on it. So Mikey Burchild is also one of those players, but he actually could honestly have a Cam Schmidt type of drop where Cam Schmidt went 94th, even though being a first-round pick. He was a top 5 pick in summer scouting 2 years back in this class. He just never grew, unfortunately. Adam Valentini, I think he will fall maybe to the 2nd or 3rd round, but I think he has some star upside. But it's going to take a lot of good development there. So that's a really good question. I saw a stream with Cam Robinson spurging out about Savanto saying his production was terrible and wouldn't take a chance on him. I've not seen that. If you guys want to send me that video on X, I'd love to take a look. I like Cam Robinson a lot. He does really great work with EP. He's great to talk to too. He helped me out at the draft and the combine last year, and just a really great guy in terms of he's a true person. So I like Cam Robinson. And in terms of the Savanto stuff, it's just like he was noticeable at the World Juniors. He's not as noticeable in Liga. He doesn't look out of place there, but he just doesn't look like a star there. I feel like there are some risks to his upside. I do think that he will be a floor player, but at the same time, is he going to live up to a top 10 pick if he's in that? I don't know. I don't. I would rather have like a Roger McQueen at 10 or Radim Murka than an Oliver Savanto. I'd rather take the shot at like Dagenais or Hemming. Malhotra is a year younger than O'Brien and is playing just as good, if not better than O'Brien. That's why I said what I said, but I love O'Brien. Don, another question about Oliver. Do you think he's further ahead in his development at this point? No. I think I already said that, but it came in twice. With the way Jackson Lacombe is playing, who in this bunch should be a comp? Well, I mean, yeah, Jackson Lacombe is a superstar, and that $9 million AAV is going to age like fine wine. Man, he's a good player. That's the thing about the Ducks. They just find this stuff. Like his development took a huge inflection point, and I feel like we don't give younger players time to do that. You got to get more experience. This is the best league in the world for a reason. The playoffs are one of the hardest sports in NHL. Playoffs are one of the most hardest sports in the world. Kind of the player that I think could be him most. I don't know if there's a Jackson Lacombe in this draft. I think that he's one of those guys that is a minute muncher, can create offensively, like a stellar defensively, in terms of somebody that can do both. Carson Carroll's, but it might not even be to that level, and they don't look like the same player. But I would say Carson Carroll's because of his two-way game. Like Albert Smith's is way more physical. Chase Reed doesn't have it defensively as Jackson, and Keaton Verhoff just kind of stresses me out in terms of if he doesn't hit his potential, I don't know what he's going to really be. O'Brien had 98 points in 66 games in his draft year. Malhotra had 84 and 67. Yes, I will preface, though, Nick Lardis had 72 goals. He did have 72 goals that year. More goals, more points on the same team. Yeah. I totally get that. I think that there is also value in Malhotra's B game. But comparing both of those players, like I was a huge Jake O'Brien guy. Like I think that they're both going to be stars. Like it was just that's a hard question. Honestly, I have no idea. I got a question about Caleb Malhotra and Caleb Desnoyers, and it's like, dang, like I would probably have Caleb Malhotra, but a lot of it goes into the queue. Like I trust Caleb Malhotra's production more in the OHL than Desnoyers in the queue. Hawks got to go Carrolls if they don't get one or two. Yeah, I feel like that would be the perfect. I think Carson Carrolls is who they thought Korchinski was going to be. I know that might sound bad, but I like Korchinski. I lost him a lot of money playing poker once because I hit on a dealer was showing 4 and I had a 14 and I got a king and then the dealer won. So I lost him money. So I feel bad for Korchinski. And in terms of, I don't want Korchinski to leave. I just definitely believe that Carson Carrolls is more of the player that the Blackhawks thought Korchinski would be. So I wouldn't go Carrolls. I would continue to stick it out with Korchinski and get Malhotra so that you could put Frondell on the line. You could go build your lines here. But I just continue to think, like, let's say Caleb Malhotra's here, then Frondell will play with Bedard up there, and you can even put like a guy like Kanserov with Connor Bedard or Malhotra. And then you get Vanacker here, and which they play together, obviously, at Brantford. And you could even build the Brantford line with Nick Lardis or put Frank Nazar with him. And that second power play could be all these guys. But, like, look at how deep the Blackhawks are when you add Malhotra in here. And I like the Oliver Moore there. If you're going to have Nick Lardis up here. Actually, I would put Lardis up there and Vanacker on the other side. But I'm going to put Roman Kanserov here. Like, Vaslav, this is not where I think his production will be. I think Vaslav will be a very nice player. But like, think about like this in terms of you can have Mason West there, and this is just a prospect lineup. It's just for fun. I'm not putting too much time and effort into actually trying to build a prospect type of line, but at the same time, like, I think it would be really interesting. Where's Nick Lardis? Yeah, he's up there. So you kind of have like even Sasha Boisvert or a guy like Ryan Green. So put Sasha Boisvert there because it's going to take Mason West some time. Or like, what do you actually get? What do you guys think? Like, you could put Sam Renzel here, Alex Vlasic, Wyatt Kaiser, Carson Carroll's second pair until he's ready for the first role. I mean, Wyatt Kaiser was good, but like, or you could go here, Artem Levchinov with Carson Carroll's, which I think would help him out in a lot of ways, and then even Wyatt Kaiser on that left side. But I feel like it would be more of a Crevier or EDM. Crevier is more of a right-handed defenseman. So, like, would you rather have this look, even though like you're taking away Wyatt Kaiser here, or would you rather have this look and then pair up Anton with Connor? That's kind of the question here. And I don't know if there's any right answers. I think it's just how you want to build your team. Don, when we analyze these tall defensemen in terms of their speed in drafts, do you think it's harder to determine because of their long strides and they cover ice quickly? I think it's more about like lateral quickness and also, yes, how much they cover in their reach and everything like that. But if you're big and say you're like 6'6", you got to be heavier. You got to bring the body. You have to understand that you can't screen the goalie. You need to be able to block shots in a machine and have that IQ, because you can't just be big. Big works in the NBA, but even the biggest players don't work in the NBA or the NCAA when you think about it. You had that Florida guy that was like 7'7", and he didn't even get playing time. So I feel like you got to be talented, dude. That's why I like William Hawkinson. I know I got to interview him today, but I've always liked William Hawkinson. That 6'4" size, left-handed defenseman. Like, he actually has a lot of that IQ there. Which prospect in the first round would you say is the biggest dog-on-bone style player? Great board work ethic, physicality. I honestly think Albert Smits comes to mind here. I think Maddox Dejanay. Maddox Dejanay fits this profile perfectly. Yeah, I think that's it. I just saw this one. Hypothetically, the Canucks approach you for an amateur scouting position 3 years by $89 USD, no YouTube, deal or no deal. I would say no, honestly. I don't want to do that yet. I honestly feel like it's a great offer. Thanks for offering. I don't know if this is the Canucks approaching me for this, but I don't want to be a scout yet. It's a lot of travel. I got my own plans, so yeah. What's your favorite pizza, bro? Deep dish cheese, like the Chicago style. You could get some sausage or pepperoni on that bad boy. I'm good to go right there. Is Malte Gustafsson a Philip Broberg 2.0? I wasn't like thrilled with Malte Gustafsson this season, but I understand the upside. I think that he's more of a Nicholas Hjalmarsson with a little offensive pop, but Philip Broberg has really developed, not to where you want him to be, but a good role. Seneca was around 15-ish. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Like, Malhotra could be the Seneca of this draft. How do you think it would cost to trade from 8 or 9 to top 5? Let's go see. Let's see. This is an interesting one. All right, so in this specific draft of Florida, and could you imagine this? Florida and the Maple Leafs drafting 1 and 2. Holy crap. That would be freaking hilarious. So you would go from 8 or 9. So I'm guessing you're a Sharks or Winnipeg fan. Maybe not. But I would say, let's break this down. Let's get Florida out of there, because Florida doesn't need the pick. They can get some assets and then go get Oliver Savanto or Oscar Hemming. We'll do this with the Sharks, because the Sharks actually just got more assets today. I put this in, but yeah. So this is one of them is the Oilers pick. Just bear with me here. And this one is a first round, so number 1 overall. I think you'd have to give another second round pick as well, number 42. So 9, 19, 42 for one, maybe even a 2028 second or player. Let's see players. I think you have to give something massive. I mean, the Florida needs a goalie. I think honestly you could give him Askarov in lieu of that second round pick too. Honestly, I got an idea here. Yeah, we're gonna give him this. We're gonna give him Askarov, and you're gonna get the rights to Bob. All right, so you can get the number 1 pick in Sergei Bobrovsky for the 9th, the 19th, the 42nd overall pick in Askarov. What do you think about that? What do you guys think? Do you think that's why Seattle is quietly shopping Wright because they know O'Brien's coming in hot? I honestly think that they just are done with Shane Wright. Yeah, the video was on Flow Hockey with Cam Robinson. I had it on the background. I'll try to find the timestamp. Sweet. Down with Oliver. Do you think that's just that he gets bored and he feels like that he's better than the pros there? He has to do with the comfortability. You can't. I think that he would dominate if that were the case. He hasn't really dominated in Liga. He's been fine, but he hasn't dominated in Liga, and I think he should with his size. Do you think that the Hawks signed Pridham and put him in Rockford or ask him to go to the NCAA? I want to see him against better. I think you need to sign Pridham as fast as possible because I think if his dad used to leave jobs, he could go there. Drafting Carrolls doesn't mean the end of Korch. Can do something similar to what Buffalo did with Byram to Korch. Carrolls would supplant Vlasic if he hits the ceiling. Yes, I completely agree with that. Victor Plant is that dog on a bone. That is very true. In terms of later in the second round, Victor Plant has that dog in him. Stephen Ellis is a very big fan. Blackhawks need Knies plus Stenberg and a top 4 D-man this summer. Do you think they'll make the playoffs if they have that? I think that would be a really good one. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to do a run through a mock draft? Let me know. I will do some grading. I will do some other things. Just comment down below. If you guys can hit that like button, it really will help me. If not, it doesn't really matter. But we're trying to push up the YouTube algorithm as well. And if you guys use the mock draft simulator, that's all I need. You guys don't need to like or subscribe. I just appreciate that usage as well. I created this, so thank you guys so much for using it. I really appreciate it. We've been on for 48 minutes. It felt like I just got on. The coffee is working. But comment down below. We got another comment coming in. Jury has picked 3 Swedes in 5 drafts, none earlier than the 5th. What are the odds he takes Stenberg if he gets the 2nd pick? I think that this is an interesting one because when I look at the Rangers, I see a team that might want to take a North American player. But the thing with Stenberg is he's coming to North America ASAP. He's not playing in the SHL. So I think that the Rangers might like that ability to plug and play him wherever, if that's the AHL or NCAA. But I mean, not NCAA, NHL. But at the same time, I am worried that the Rangers have the ability to develop a player like Stenberg, in my opinion. I think that he's a safe player, so they might go for it, but I'm not sure if they can reach his full potential there. But I like what the Rangers have built. I love, okay, could you imagine Liam Greentree on the wing of Caleb Malhotra? I think that would just be fantastic. The hockey IQ would be off the charts there. So I think they have a lot of options there. I would personally probably take Stenberg if I were the Rangers, but at the same time, I don't think there's a big drop off. I think that Malhotra and Stenberg are on the same tier anyway. Which Calgary second round plus picks could they use to move into the top 10? So a second top 10. I believe they have the 35th and the 36th pick, correct? Yeah, so they have the 35th, the 36th, and then they have another one at 51 and 55. This team's absolutely nuts. And then 65 and 68. This is crazy. Yeah, the Flames, no one's really talking about this, but the Flames have every pick. So let's try to entice the Jets. Let's try to entice the Jets. If we're talking about top 10 teams, I think the Jets would be one of those that would be interested. So you give them number 6, 30. No, not sorry. Give them number 35, number 38, number 65. Probably a second rounder in maybe 2028. And I don't even know if this is enough. Like players. Like if you have. I feel like it's going to be really tough to get into the top 10 without giving another first round pick. Maybe you look for the first round pick in 2027 because they have 2 of them instead. And even this, so like second round, third round, second round, and a first. I feel like one of those second rounds could be taken away. So, okay, would you do 35, 38, 65 and your first next year protected? Top 10 protected? Feel like that could work, or a 2028 first. I think a 2028 first might be better, but you're going to have to give a ton of value to drop down to here. Have to trade up to first. I don't know. I would say that's good value for the Flames to try to get back in, but you're going to have to do some big maneuvering there. And you'd have 6 and 8. It's an interesting one. Jim, he was my first ever super chat, so shout out Jim. Thank you so much for that. Won't forget that 10 you gave me. Don, who should the Flyers pick at 31? Flyers, well, 31. Oh, I got you. That's funny. So I really screwed up this draft board, but you're saying that they're going to win the Stanley Cup. I like it. They look really good. I think that you're going to need a defenseman at some point. Tommy Blyle could be that guy. Maxim Sokolovsky is 6'8", big 6'8", 240 pounds. I mean, he could even add more to that. But William Hawkinson, if he even falls there, but I think that would be a good one. I think you should go defense on this. Maybe if, I don't know. You took a lot of really good value last year in the second round. Jack Murtagh, Carter Amico, who's also a defenseman playing for the Brantford Bulldogs. No, sorry. He's playing for Muskegon. And then you have Shane Van Sage. Who's the other guy? I interviewed him last year. Matthew Guard. And then Jack Nesbitt and Porter Martone. I think you got to go defense. But congratulations on winning the Stanley Cup if that did happen. Even if the Flames threw in their first from Vegas plus 3 seconds, a team probably wouldn't do it. I honestly agree. It's just so hard. Like, I was trying to answer the question, but at the same time, it's like, look at Colorado Puckpedia. What does a trade look like for Taze and Nelson? Well, I'll use mine, but I'm not going to use theirs just because. But let's see. This is a trade for Taze Nelson. Do you think that the Blackhawks should target these guys? Is that what you're asking? Because I can look up both of them. Where the heck are the Avs? I can't see. Got to make these bigger. My eyes are cooked. What the heck? Where are the Avs? No, I'm on the Avs. Never mind. Oh, jeez. All right, so let's go to the Blackhawks. We'll scroll in here. So you're saying Nelson, and Taves to get Taves back in Chicago. Obviously, joking, but I wouldn't really even necessarily want this. But you have 3 firsts next year, maybe Edmonton and a second at minimum, and you give them Slaggert, EDM. I mean, this is trash. I have no idea. Well, not Josh. I don't want Josh. I honestly don't know what would get them that. You would have to throw in maybe another first round pick, and honestly, I wouldn't even want Brock Nelson. I don't know. That would be tough. I don't see a world in which New York Rangers doesn't take Reed. Drury obsessed with the size plus Americans and yeah. It's 2 forecheck crash the net for Bjork, Stenberg. Maybe he goes Belchets too, if they're looking for that size. But I think Chase Reed. I've always said Chase Reed to the Rangers. He just looks like a Rangers player. My favorite prospect in the later rounds is Rudolph Bruce Collins. I've talked to him he's a Muskegon Lumberjack. Talked to him at the World Juniors. Really nice person. I believe that is one of the underrated players in this draft. Flames need a stick and pick. They need as many prospects as possible going forward. I actually agree with this. Let's see. Nah, wouldn't do a future first. I don't think. Probably just work with Vegas pick. I got you there. Flames would have to trade Coronado to get a top 10 pick and more. No, they don't have enough contract space. That is true. That's something good. Oh, well, thanks, Don. I agree. Defense thinner than forwards in the Flyers pool. Yeah. I mean, they just did a great job. Danny Briere, which I actually got to meet at the World Juniors. He is a very good prospect evaluator, and his team over there is very, very good. They were locked in during the World Juniors. I believe that they would probably go defense. And also, can I ask you a question here, Jim, about Matvei Michkov? Like, what do you think is going to happen with that situation? And I want your guys' opinions. If your favorite team went out there and you saw an Elliot Friedman or even Marco D'Amico tweet that said Matvei Michkov could be on the move, the Flyers are fielding offers, what do you think would be a good offer? What do you think would be that, oh, we're getting Matvei for this? Like, what do you think that would kind of be? What would it look like? Let's see. Like, would you go a second round pick and a first plus a prospect, or would it be a second round pick? It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Like a second round pick and a prospect, no first. I don't know. Colorado is less than 10 million cap for 6 minimum players. Yeah, they're kind of fried. Lardis, Artie, and 2 firsts. For who? Oh, I'm not doing that. Like, Brock Nelson's not what the Blackhawks need. Devin Tays, this would be so bad. I would cry. I would honestly cry. A smart trade for New York Rangers would be Snyder for Mustier Graf or for 9 overall. I think Greer, who knows Schneider from HFD, would overvalue him. That could be interesting. I don't know if Musty would be available, but I think Musty has much more value than Graf does. If they could get him for Colin Graf plus something, like, I feel like that would be pretty good on the Sharks. You signed the kid for free. Can you talk about why Katie sent their 20th, 51st, and 64th to the Islanders, exchanged for 18th and 50th? Okay, not talking about Boisvert here. I did not understand that trade whatsoever. That made 0 sense. That was a loss of value. That was a kind of joke. You gave the 61st pick away for free. It's kind of how it was. I'm not going to speak on Boisvert. I think he's a good player that has upside. Can you do another 7-round mock for my Panthers? Yes. Hard to value Michkov. My Panthers go after him. I'd be willing to give a second this year and a third in 2027. Probably second and a good prospect for Michkov. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure. All right, we're going to be doing a 7-round mock draft. If you guys want to draft with me, we can actually do a creator room, but I'm going to do this one solo for one team. You can do solo 7 rounds for one team. Make sure your draft settings are on 7 rounds. We're going to go to the Panthers this time for my main man, Anthony, and then we're going to do a solo mock. So in this, it just goes straight to your pick. You see Albert Smith is still on the board, Tynan Lawrence, Ethan Belchez, Oscar Hemming, and Oliver Savanto. If you want to chime in here, Anthony, give me your pick. Let me know. Boisvert looked like he could be a good second-line center his freshman year. BU was a hot garbage this year. Don't look at that. Judge him. Yeah, I mean, look at what happened to Tynan Lawrence. That's one of the reasons I'm worried about Malhotra. Like, don't even go there. Like, I don't know what's going on. Go Albert. And then in the second round, go Tommy. All right, I like it. I like it. Oh, Tommy got drafted. Tommy got drafted. Well, what the heck? All right, let me know who you want. If you want me to scroll down, I will too. Throw some loves in there. Look at that. Hey. I didn't know you could do that until yesterday. Someone did it like 100 times. They did it like this. Scroll down. Wait, I'll go like this. See, we're interactive here at the Prospect On channel. So if you guys like this, if you like the ASMR with the Prospect Talk, this is I'm the guy for you guys right here. I'm finally starting to get comfortable online. Alexander Command, I like it. I like it. This guy knows who he wants. Also, there's a free AI Prospect Dawn I created. I've been talking to this guy for a while. Very good Prospect Dawn AI. Very good. Let's see. Can we do another multiplayer mock draft yet? Yes, we can. I could probably do one today. I got a couple things I gotta do, but I'll stay on for one. Just the next pick is Rudolph versus Lincolns. Okay. All right. I'm just reading the comments, so I'm not pulling them up. But we got Parker Vaughn, Alexei Glazov, who actually played really well in the queue this year. If you want to go goalie, I could check out the goalies for you too. Philip Ruzicka is a big boy, 6'8", 230 pounds. Him and Sokolovsky were eating the same thing growing up, probably. 319 goals against average. It says points, but there's no way to really. If you click here, it says it. Then you could also compare players, but I don't want to do that right now. So, Anthony, let me know who you want next. For my pick, I would probably take. Let's see the good value here. Beckett Hamilton, interesting. Philip Buzika I would probably take for the Panthers in like particular. William Lassell also, if he's falling, played really well in the queue. I mean, the guy is just a very, very good goalie. But I do like the size of Landon Hafel. I'm gonna move up. Go Philip in the third. Or Philip Ruzicka. This would be a good pick for the Panthers for sure. Then you have the picks here that we've taken already. I don't know why it's dim. I got to change that. Obviously, these are all works in progresses. Why is the Leafs pink? What the heck? It's weird. All right. I did not do that. Let's go. I'll scroll back up. We actually have some really good values here still. Like, obviously, if you wanted to take a goalie that's not Philip Ruzicka, there's some good options here. I still believe William Lassell is still on the board. Yeah, he is. This guy's pretty good. Like Felix Carter, Zach Wooden from the USHL Green Bay Gamblers, which is where Artie played. John Parsons, another goalie for Providence, played with Roger McQueen and John Mustard. Let's see. Parker Snell. Where's Parker? Parker Snell could be a good option. Look at the defenseman. Okay, sorry. I don't know where he is. This guy right here. He's a high schooler. I'm telling you. Jaden Kurtz. He should not be in this draft, honestly. I would wait. William Lundqvist. Jonas Kemps is he was pretty good during the USHL Fall Classic. I actually enjoyed watching him. Go with Casper. Cheese danger. All right, I might take Cameron on with this and go Casper here. Alexander Morozov. This is not a typo. This is actually another A. Morozov. Ludwig Anderson. Let me see if I have that programmed in. I actually don't believe that I have it programmed in, which is unfortunate. I believe he's left-handed. This was like a make or break situation. I believe he's left-handed. Someone with the same name has an IMDb page with him. What the heck? That's pretty cool. Oh no, he's right-handed. Wait, what? Yeah, I have this completely wrong because it says that he's a center right wing, so he should not be in this unless this is. Yeah, this is just programmed wrong. I put the wrong stats in. This is not the same guy. Well, we get mistakes. Okay, wait. What are your concerns with Malhotra? Face-offs are probably the one thing. I think he was 48% on Instat. I think Morozov would actually be really good here. I think that it just... Oh, Malcolm Gastron's Milton Gastron's brother. I feel like that would be a good one. BU and ND is where prospects go to die, apparently. Well, it's interesting because Boisvert went to ND and looked great. Boisvert was in... Okay. When he played at the end of the year, he looked very slow and didn't lay a hit, and that's all anyone accepted for him after his bad BU. It's crazy. Like, I'm not taking anything from BU. I'm sorry. After celebrating for BU, that's it. Alexander Command. We will do one. William Lundqvist is not on the board at this time. I can go ahead and go Alexi. All right, I'm going to take a chance to go Alexander Morozov. But Anthony, do one on the system if you want, and then show me yours too. I want to see. I'm going to go Parker Snell. You go. Who do you want as your last pick to close it out? Could also do a multiplayer in this. We still have the Don fact. Top projected number 1 pick, 2027, Landon DuPont. He loves Denny's. So I still have to upload that video. I'm so sorry, guys. I've just been so busy. Okay, there's only 1 pick left, so I'm going to go Calder Varga if he's still available. Yeah, I like Calder Varga. Here's the draft, everybody. Fun exercise. If you guys want to try that on your own, let me know. I could send you guys the link. In terms of any questions on YouTube or anything, ask me anything. We could go into a multiplayer mock draft. If you guys want me to do that, I could do the code. All you have to do is sign in as a guest or sign in with your email. Doesn't really matter. If you guys want to do it, here's the code. X3DKS is the code. And if you guys can smack that like button, it helps me so much. If you guys want to do that, we're going to be doing a live multiplayer draft. So if any of you guys are interested in joining, go ahead and join. It's completely free. We got Cameron's in here already. Welcome, Cameron. Appreciate you coming out. Can you see Flip shocking everybody and being drafted in the first round by a team who's in the need of a goalie? I think it would be like Borichev or Dmitry Borishev, maybe. Maybe Tobias Trouble. Those are the only ones. What's the website called? It's my first time doing it. DraftProspectsHockey.com. I will send it to you. This is actually my simulator I created, and appreciate everybody that uses it. I'll go into YouTube and send you the link. Oh, there you go. I didn't have the stream up, but here I do. If any of you guys want to, go ahead. We have 22 people watching right now. If we could get this up to 10 likes, I mean, it's bare minimum, but if you guys want to, we got a bunch of these. Click the thingies. I think it helps or something. I'm not too sure on YouTube. Still trying to learn it. But I'll wait for everybody to get in. Tell me when you guys get in. Yeah, we're going to have to pick teams as well. So let me know. Everybody pick teams when we're in there. You have to go to sign up as a guest. And it's in the right-hand corner. So like right here, you sign in as a guest. You put your name in. And then by the mock draft simulator, you are going to click the code. And it says like join multiplayer draft or join room, and then that's where you put the code in. I know you love looking at all these draft picks, but I feel like Katie needs help putting a team together. He tried in 24 and it was a disaster. What are your thoughts bringing in Pronger as president of hockey? I didn't know that was an option. That's interesting. News rumors are Bedard has separated his shoulder. Where is this? I don't get any news. It'll take me a second. No worries, Rylan. Appreciate it. We got 4 people in. We're going to be... So if we have 5 and that's the setup... Yeah, you guys could take Chicago. I don't really care. I just want to see what your guys' opinions on the draft are. We'll do a 1-round mock, but in terms of the... What was the question? Okay, we got Rylan in. In terms of Pronger, that'll be interesting. Is everybody in? Nobody else wants to join? 5 divided by 32. That's like 6. Okay, so we got one more. Oh, what is up? All right, so 6. All right, when you guys want, you can select like 5 teams. Some of them will be like 3 teams, like St. Louis. So go ahead. St. Louis is 3. I'll go Boston. I don't know the draft order at this time. Here's the teams. We need more. Golfs, pick some teams. Sanchez, Rylan, Cameron. Just pick as many teams as you guys honestly want. All right, Washington. Edmonton doesn't have a pick, so I'll just take him. What? Wait, that was really weird. Give me 1 second. I don't know why I did that. I have no idea what just happened. We might have to. I might just have to run it, and then you guys tell me the picks based on where the picks are, because that was really weird. Let's. Oh, we also had it on 7 rounds, so I thought we were doing this. Oh my god. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I do. I watch a lot of hockey though. I shouldn't be watching as much Blackhawks as I do, in all honesty. That's so. I hate that this doesn't work when I'm on live. I tested so many times. It just auto drafted. We put it on 7 rounds anyway, so I have tested it and it has worked. I haven't tested it with that many players yet, so I wanted to do a live one, but it did not. That did not work. And since I put in the solo mock, I don't know. Thank you so much. It went. It debuted April 18th, so we're nearly at 100,000 visitors since April 18th. It's been incredible. Thank you guys so much for using it. Don, do you have any Swedes rising up in the rankings after the U18s? Elton Hermansen. Yeah, Hermansen looks nasty. I could show you around the website while I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to do multiplayer. I'm really upset right now. In terms of like this, I don't know what's going on. But you can like go in here, you can go to NHL players, NHL prospects, and also draft classes. You can go see the prospects. You can see your team's drafts. 2023 Connor Bedard. If you wanted to do redrafts, you can just select the year you want to redraft, 2025 to 2023. That's how much data I have in so far. You go to 2023, you go to redraft. You click this button. I've been doing so many updates that I don't know why. No, that's you have the scores, the standings, the tank race during the season. You go to here, and I've been doing a ton of different updates, like I said. But if you go to like McDavid or whoever you can, you just see their stats and everything. You have our scouting reports here for Draft Prospects Hockey. That's our scouting report company, or my scouting report company. And then you go to compare. You can kind of select as many prospects or 5 prospects as you want. You can see their data here. My grades, exactly what I think of the player. In terms of you can create these own grades too. We have a rankings page where you can actually see featured ranking creators. So I'm not really sure where it says. Yeah. So my rankings are right here. I have all of them into the top 32. I'm going to be dropping my top 64 soon. You can see the top 32, top 50, and you can create your own as well in your My Rankings. So you just click create. You could save to your browser as well. We have a lot of like partners with Stephen Ellis, Blue Chip Prospect, Gabe Foley, New Wave Hockey, a bunch of these people that I love that cover prospects. Go to the All Prospects page. You can click a player, kind of see what we think about them, their stats, scouting reports. Just gotta like, for some reason, it's like not doing that. In terms of this, like you get the, we have a lot of them. I don't know why it says 7, but there's still bugs. I'm putting in new things every day, and it kind of affects it a little bit. We have a scouting tool page where you can do generate scouting reports so that it looks like ours. Tried to think of as much as I possibly could in terms of this. We have features, so the playoff bracket league stats, mock draft simulator, 440 prospect database. It's actually 600 now. Multi-creator rankings, skills, NHL player cards. It's in the works as well. So it's just big time, honestly. I left. I honestly thought it was not working because it just like auto drafted. So let me try to get back into the room. Yeah, I'm so used to it not working that I thought it didn't, but I assumed it did not work. Let's see. X. I don't know if this is going to work, but I hope it does. All right, I'm back in. All right, here you go. So with Winnipeg, I'm going Keaton Verhoff. I feel like that's the ultimate pick there. I don't know if you're still on, but we couldn't pick the first 7 for some reason. I think it was because of, I honestly have no idea why, but okay, so we had 2 picks already. I don't know what the heck's going on with my computer. Okay, so I actually did it. Yeah, that was sweet. Yay, we got 11 likes. Heck yeah, boys. We're like Mr. Beast. I don't know if Goffs is still even here. I have no idea. But again, this was on me, so I left. I jumped the gun too early. I do need water. All right, Goffs, are you in this? Or I can pick for you. Let me know. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't let me know if you weren't in here. Skylar Smith, what is up? Hey, Don, do you agree with the current NHL lottery system? Do you think worse teams deserve better odds or worst, etc.? What's your overall thoughts? That's a great question. Well, my computer's frozen, so I can't bring it up on the stream. But I actually think that the NHL does have one of the best NHL lottery systems. The NBA is cooked. The NFL needs one because it's such a big day and they're losing millions and millions of views by not doing it. And also, it would stop tanking teams. It shouldn't just be if you're the worst team, you get the number 1 pick. I think that's very computer just froze. Can you guys hear me? I have no idea what just happened. Oh. Who's up right now? Okay. Sorry, I don't know what happened. My computer completely froze. Did you guys hear me or at all? Who is the Isles pick? Did someone leave? Someone left. That might not be. Because I have to trade this pick. You have the Isles pick? What is up, everybody? Still, thank you for bearing with me. It's been honestly, it's been great conversations today, so appreciate everything. I don't know why my thing is freezing, but at the same time, I don't understand technology very well in terms of streaming because I'm starting. No one has them. All right, I'm going to trade them to me. Again, I do have to fix the system. I don't know what happened before, but after I get off of this, we'll fix this. So we're just going to give them a 1st and 20 because this will allow me to pick for them. But this is the Isles pick for 13. I have it. Yeah, I think it would be Oscar Hemming or Oliver Savanto here. I'm going to go with Oscar Hemming. I particularly like Oscar Hemming better. And I don't think that anybody has the Columbus Blue Jackets. Does anybody have the Columbus Blue Jackets? Again, I think it started before we had all the picks. The knock on him is that I've heard that there is a compete issue and the love of the game issue there is what I'm hearing, but I want to talk to him. I think that it's BS when rumors come out like that, but it does impact my rankings when I've heard it from multiple different people. And at the same time, like, I've heard it from multiple different people. Again, we have to do this, but this is going to be Columbus Blue Jackets pick. Because for some reason, it just, like, screwed up. All right, for Utah, Columbus. This is Columbus's pick. We're going to go Oliver Savanto again. Goffs is also picking. I don't know if he's in there. If not, we're just going to have a lot of mammoth. Yeah, this is not going well in terms of the multiplayer mock draft. And my system is frozen again. All right. Maddox Dagenet. That's a good one. When I do this locally with, like, people in my network, it works completely fine. It really stinks that it doesn't work on my live stream because, I have no idea what happened on that one. I'm not going to make an excuse. It's not going well, but it still feels really fun, though. Once all the kinks are out, this is going to be so great. Like, think about this in, like, a couple months. I'm really hoping, like, in 2027, I'm hoping this will be the most used simulator of all time in this space. But for some reason, there's still some bugs. It just auto-picked immediately for people. We are going to get through all of these bugs and create a incredible website, guys. No one hit the Kings. I will go back in there. We have a good idea here, so we just got to keep building on it. Again, and there's ways to get around these things. I have an override button, but for when someone doesn't have a team, it doesn't let me override. So for the Kings, I think Nikita Klepov would honestly be a good fit. They need that scoring with the loss of Liam Greentree. So I'm actually going to go in Nikita Klepov range. I'm higher on consensus than Nikita. It worked for me. Thank you. I have an idea of mine of how I want this to be, and today did not work like that. So it's just got to continue to build. I got a lot of features in this thing too, so sometimes things don't work out. Good pick for Washington, Wyatt Cullen. That's a great value pick. I do believe that he'll be available at that point, but at the same time, he could be drafted much before that. So we will see how the draft turns out. In terms of Utah, I continue to go I'm going to go Malte Gustafsson. I think he'd be really, really good alongside a guy like Dmitry Simashev. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I feel like Klepov could crack the top 10 come draft day. Completely agree. Me and Blue Chip Prospect have had this conversation. But again, I really appreciate everybody for sticking with me. As soon as I'm able to and my computer's unfrozen, I am going to trade this pick again to Utah. And for me, I got to fix all these kinks. I just feel bad. I just saved the Sharks, Smits, and Villeneuve. I absolutely love that. Gustafsson and Marino would feast. That would be really awesome, actually. Good pickup. All right, so I got to go back. Wait. Yeah. Again, I just apologize for this. This sucks. Just this time, but in terms of you want it to be really good. Okay, so we have Utah on the board again, and I'm just seeing Adam Novotny. Adam Novotny, if you click the players, you can see all their stuff. 58 games played, 34 goals, 31 assists, 65 points. I'm going to go Adam Novotny. Rylan, you are up. And also, when we do mock drafts, single player, it always works. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys can also do that. I'll be making a lot. What a draft. I'll take assistant GM duties for $2 million. $2 million. I love that. For Boston, I'm going to go Maybe Pantelis there. Liam, what's up, buddy? My dog's here. I'm gonna go Hermanson. I feel like that could be a really good pick. Goff's is up. Did you have any issues though, Cameron? Let me know. Last night was crazy because I was updating so much, and one of them, the simulator was down for an hour because I screwed up. But it's just trial and error. So if you were on at that time, let's see how many people we've had use the simulator since yesterday. All right, Montreal Canadiens, no one has them. So again, going with Utah, and we could redo this honestly, and not the multiplayer, but I can do a one where you guys tell me who to draft next, because this was not ideal. In terms of Montreal, I think that they could go in the direction of William Hawkinson or Ilya Morozov. Morozov is there. I could see that being a possibility. An auto pick wasn't made after it counted to 0. Okay, yeah, the clock ticked down to 0, but the pick wasn't made. Then I exited and changed some of the settings, and it was fine. That was in a solo 7-round draft. I have to update the multiplayer. For some reason, there's an issue with the there's an auto selection issue. And that's good to know, but at the same time, when you're on a live, it's not good to find out then. I mean, we could try it again. It might have been just a mistake. I had a feeling Cameron was going to take Preston. All right, I got Buffalo Sabres. It's going back to Utah Mammoth. If you guys ever have this problem, let me know, please. We're trying to build this up. So with the Sabres, I'm going to go Liam Ruck. I think that he was falling way too much. And for the Hurricanes, I'm feeling Tommy Blyle right now. And Goffs is going to close us out. Wait, no. Do you have both the 31 and 32? I don't know who has the Suns. I'm a big Preston guy, too. Like, I love his skill. All right, Ryland's closing us off. And my computer's still frozen. But I appreciate everybody for liking. That's awesome. We got 13 likes. We have 300 people watching live or on X. I don't know how that really works, but thank you guys for tuning in. And on YouTube, we have 120 views. Oh, 175, sorry. I didn't refresh. So almost 500 people. That's awesome. Again, I am going to be doing a... we are still all in. I kept it in, but let me try to use the old file. This could screw up the system, and I will completely get it back. But I'm going to go old file here. So we have to try to fix this. Because one of the old files worked, and then I put in a lot of stuff. All right, that's not right. I don't know why it's like auto doing it to that. So I'm going to go back into the room. Don't leave, guys, if you're already in there. Because I just put it back to the old file. What is the code? This is the code again. All right, so is everybody in? Let me know. We're going to try this again. Click your teams. What? Why did it do that again? All right, so there's an error when it before it starts. It's like a timer is ticking down. Yeah, the new file didn't work. Or the old file, but yeah, I'm probably just gonna run a I don't know, Cameron, do you have teams? Because we couldn't even pick the teams. That was the issue. Here, I'm gonna get out of here and then run a draft lottery, and you guys tell me exactly who to pick. While tonight, as soon as I get off of this, I gotta work on that because for some reason it's not working. All right, so we're gonna run this together. So Gavin McKenna or Sharks, let me know who you guys want, and then I'll do it after we get some people in. We'll go Gavin McKenna. That's what everybody's saying. And then for the Leafs, who do you guys think we should go for the Leafs? Sharks trade down. We just picked. Low key, Reed. Yeah, Reed. Okay. That's interesting. I like that. Leafs get Reed. Close enough gap from Reed and Stenberg. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna type this in. All right, Ivar, Malhotra, Stenberg, Vancouver loves Swedes. What do you guys think? Malhotra or Stenberg? Definitely would go Stenberg there. All right, we'll go Stenberg to Vancouver. And then for the Blackhawks, where are you going here? I feel like the Nucks really love Malhotra, yeah. Chicago goes Carols. Okay. What do you guys think? Carols. Wow, not Caleb? I'm kind of shocked about that. We're going to go Carols then. I am kind of shocked that you guys didn't want Malhotra. I thought that would have been a Malhotra pick for sure. All right, let me see what you guys want for. Who do you guys want for Rangers? Let's see. Malhotra to the Rangers. Bjork for New York. Rangers get Malhotra. Hawks could go Smith with Levshinov. Bjork, Malhotra. This is an interesting one. We're tied here. Bjork or Malhotra keeps going. What do you guys think? Malhotra for sure. All right, we got to do a tiebreaker. One more. Malhotra or Bjork? Or Bjork. We got Bjork here. I don't know. Wow, that would kind of be interesting. All right, we'll go New York unless we get some pushback real quick. All right, we're going Bjork. That's an interesting one. I was kind of shocked. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these before the NHL draft. Actually pretty fun. All right, now we got the Flames. Flames go Malhotra. No shot there taking Bjork that high. He's good, but he's got to be Malhotra. I want Malhotra for Flames. I honestly agree. We'll get couple more comments in here, but all right, Malhotra. Yeah, we're gonna go Malhotra with the Flames. I just feel like that's the right pick there. All right, so for Seattle, they've obviously never taken a defenseman in their inaugural season of 2021. They have not taken a defenseman. Will they go defenseman here? Seattle goes Verhoff. Seattle takes Belchez. Ha. All right, so we got Villeneuve for Seattle. Interesting. No shot. Seattle skips Verhoff. Interesting. Is there a way that I could put the show chat on stage? There you go. Seattle's one of the worst offensive teams I've ever seen. Needs speed and transition. All right, let me move myself here. I think this might be better for the stream. You could run a poll each pick. Might take a while, though. I still don't know. I feel like Verhoff would be the pick here. They have that coming with their 5 center prospects. I honestly think it's going to be Verhoff. Give me some more. Give me a couple more answers. I am so confused on if it should be Verhoff or not right now, based on this. What do you think about the Kelowna Rockets GM saying he doesn't want players who go to the NCAA? What? Like, he can't. I mean, it's Kelowna Rockets. Like, if you're going to the NCAA, that's not even they're not even, or is it like committed to the NCAA? I haven't heard that. That's kind of interesting. I would just say, like, keep it up, champ. No, I don't. If they liked Smiths, they'd take them, but most likely Verhoff. I'm going to go Verhoff here. I feel like Verhoff would be really good value for Seattle. If Verhoff was in this position, I would be kind of surprised anyway. But for let's go Winnipeg Jets. Is my headphone? I can't even feel my left ear. I don't know if that's healthy. But we'll go Winnipeg Jets here. We just got an infusion of more people. So thanks everybody for coming in. Let's go here. Right, just take Smits, Belchez to Winnipeg. I bet Smits, Belchez again. Also, happy Friday, Don. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, Ken. You too. Everybody that's out here and everybody just in the world, happy Friday. I mean, not in the world because some people are not even in Friday anymore, but you know what I mean. Basically, he said he's talking to potential WHL draft picks and asking them to guarantee they'll stay until they're 20. I don't like that at all. He's not going to be a GM for long. Players that leave WHL makes sense. Why would you want your players to leave? I totally understand that, but at the same time, like, all right, they'll just go somewhere else. Smits. We're gonna go Smits here, even though Belchez had an early lead in the Winnipeg Jets one in the race for Winnipeg. I'm gonna lock that in there. I feel like that's good. Gotta go back to YouTube just to see the chat moving a little quicker. I have a video premiering at 3, but we're fine. Check that out if you guys want. Belchez or Hemming for the Panthers. Belchez to the Panthers. Cornering them to commit is dumb, but I see the point. But it's just weird. Belchez or Hemming. Florida, Rudolph, Lawrence. So we have 2 for Belchez. And then 1 for Hemming, Rudolph, Lawrence. Sorry. I have seasonal allergies, and it's the season, I guess. No chance that all of Reed, Carols, Verhoff, and Smits go in the top 7. We all thought it would happen with Lovchinov, Perek, Boyum, and Dickinson draft. Hemming for Florida, so we have 2 for Hemming. Lawrence, 2 for Lawrence. Oh, it's all tied. 2 Belchez, 2 Hemming, 2 Lawrence. Who's gonna be the deal breaker here? What do you guys think? Should I make it look like this? Yeah. It's the first time we're doing one of these. Make us repick with those 3 guys only. All right. Yes, repick with only Ethan Belchez, Tynan Lawrence. Wait, and Oscar Hemming? Not Rudolph? Yes. Okay, so Hemming. Vote for Hemming, vote for Belchez, or vote for Tynan. Let me see. What are your thoughts, boys? Or everybody? I feel like a hamster drinking this. Hemming. We got 3 Hemmings. We need one more to finish it off, I believe. I think Hemming wins. Yeah. Oscar Hemming. Anthony, are you still in the chat? Let me know what you think about Oscar Hemming to Florida. It's your guy with Savanto. Getting Belchez frees up Reinhardt in time. I'm switching to Lawrence. No! Oh, man. I didn't see it in time. It didn't come up. Well, sorry. We cannot stop it. All right, so we are at Nashville. Who are the Predators going to select at 10? They took Brady Martin last year, Jacob Rombach. They took Jack Ivankovic too. Ryan Lynn, Ethan Belchez to Nashville. They are super happy. I actually agree with that. So we have one Belchez, one Belchez, two. Someone boring and useless. What is up, Michael? We have currently our video is about to upload in 4 minutes or in 9 minutes. But Michael is in the house. Devliano, please go follow him on X. Very, very great stuff. No way they grab Lynn. I would say honestly, like they have Molendijk too. Yeah, Tanner Molendijk's awesome. Belchez and Martin would be cinema. Probably Belchez. Stamkos as a tutor. Nashville loves their D-men. Holy moly. Martin would have already projected as their 2C. They don't need Tynan. If the Leafs pick, who do you think they would pick? Defense right-handed, Reed or Verhoff. If not, take Carrolls or Smiths. They got to take a defenseman or trade back and do that. But one of those players will be available, obviously. In terms of, I'm seeing more Belchez than anything. So I'm going to go with Belchez. If there's anybody else that doesn't want the Belchez marriage to Predators to happen, let me know now or forever hold your peace. Who is their GM? Who is their GM? Belchez is who I'd say. I agree. That's who I would pick. All right, so St. Louis is first of 3 first-round picks. Where are they going here, boys? Leafs need to win the lotto balls. Hey, draft lotteries in 4 days. My dogs are barking. Pridham is interim GM, I think. I'm not sure. Is he? I didn't hear that. I know that he was in the role of almost doing it. Should have hired one by now. Michael, maybe they're gonna hire you, man. You love it. Barry is retiring. Blues go Lawrence. Pridham is interim GM, and Jack Pridham is on the Blackhawks, his son. Who had a really good year in the OHL this year. Novotny, Tynan. Yeah, I'm excited. Like it's a red, it's red dog. I'm not sure what that means. St. Louis Rudolph. Okay, I think I'm gonna go Tynan. I've heard Tynan a little bit more than anyone else. But if we have some people that want to vote for Novotny or Rudolph, let me know. Predators are okay, we got one. The Predators are actively searching for a new GM with names like former New Jersey Devils GM Tom Fitzgerald, a Predators alumni. Good call there. Reported as the strong candidate or frontrunner along with the others such as Brett Peterson, Florida Panthers assistant GM, and Bill Scott, Edmonton Oilers assistant GM. No hire has been announced yet. So that's awesome. Awesome information. Again, poker with the dice in a bubble, 3 Gs, 3 6s, and 300 to 1. I have no idea what any of this means, Isildur. With the Robert Thomas status pending, investing in a solid center prospect makes a lot of sense. I completely agree. We're going to go Tynan Lawrence here. We are going to lock it in. Locking Tynan Lawrence into St. Louis Blues. And if you're a St. Louis Blues fan, let me know what you guys actually want at 11. Is there a specific player that you think is that you've identified as the best fit? They obviously have Carbonneau. Jimmy Snuggerud has looked fantastic this season. I mean, he just had an incredible year. They want a right-handed defenseman. They could take a Daxton Rudolph too, but you also have that 15th pick, and you could take Juho Piparainen. My silver tips might win it all. Bro, what up? Devils take Savanto. New Jersey, Rudolph. New Jersey doesn't have the room for Rudolph. Let me know what you guys think. And then I got to post out that video that I did with Michael, who is in the chat giving us great stuff. So I'm just going to post this out for everybody to watch. If you guys want to go over to turn that on. I know we're just finishing this. Give me a sec. This is a commercial break without commercial breaks, everybody. All right, that is tweeted. All right, so let's see. Landon DuPont going first overall to the Kraken next year. That would be interesting, but I think it's going to be the Canucks. I would go Savanto for New Jersey. Savanto, Klepov. I think Savanto's the winner on this. No, wait. Yeah. We have 3 for Savanto, 1 for Rudolph. No, it's Savanto. Savanto wins this one. Savanto to New Jersey. You get the big forward, 6'3" out of Finland. Tough to play against, hard to push off the puck. He compares his game to Alexander Barkov. So, interesting one there. Hope for Landon's sake, it's neither. It would be crazy if the first Seattle Kraken defenseman they take in their since their inaugural season is Landon DuPont defensively, because they do not draft defensive prospects very often. They've never done in the first round either. Toronto 70 points, Isles 75 points. Cullen to Islanders. Isles Rudolph would be good for them. Would you take Wyatt Cullen there, or are you trying to get Matthew Schaefer as buddy? I don't know. Can't see Savanto going over Cullen at this point. That's a hot take, honestly, Ricky. It's a hot take. I think that Savanto and Cullen are probably battling it out now for who gets drafted first. Would not be surprised. But we're nearly 2 hours in. We've had about 600 people watch. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. I'm going to continue to stay on, but just wanted to say that. Thank you. If you guys want to smack the like button, definitely do so. If not, don't do it. I'm not going to force you to do that. Schaefer, buddy, plus Cullen seems to be rocketing up to the charts. They need a right-handed defenseman. I also need a Lacombe like D-man now. I mean, where is Cullen ranked now? Top 16. Definitely top 16. I honestly think that they would go Rudolph, but drop a comment down below who you guys think they're going to draft. This is a community mock draft. Community mock draft. First one we've done. And I will be live for the lottery on Tuesday, May 5th, which is the lottery draft. Wyatt is better than Hurlburt. I like that. It's a good take. But here, if you guys want to see this, we put so many new features in. The GM tab, the redrafting, the web data that I created in the database. So we also did that. The rankings, we added more players to the database. There's 435 prospects now in this draft class. Drafter trades Stian Stolberg in Anaheim. I know that Stephen Ellis was huge on Stolberg, and he's actually looked good. But let me know who you guys want. Like, is this Wyatt Cullen now? It feels like Wyatt Cullen. I'm going to go Wyatt Cullen unless... Hockey IQ, shot playmaking, JP maybe. Just the skating. All right, I'm going to go Wyatt Cullen. I feel like that's a fun pick. Have not seen that in a lot of mock drafts. I mean, we didn't see Jack Nesbitt or Ben Kindle being drafted where they were drafted. Okay, Columbus Blue Jackets. They took Jackson Smith last year and Andrianov, the goalie out of KHL or Russia. So who are they going to go with here? Again, they're drafting 14th like they did last year. Where do you guys think this pick is going? Klepov, Rudy is falling. Waiting for more comments, but right now it's Klepov versus Rudy, which is not bad. I feel like both of those players have become a little underrated. Klepov again. Klep. So we got, I think Klep's the winner here, unless we get more votes. But I'm gonna go Klep here. Klepov to Columbus. All right, so St. Louis with their second first-round pick at 15. This is always an interesting one because I see the upside there. I can see them going with who'd they go with the first time? They went with Tynan Lawrence, obviously right here. So, who do you think to go with this time? Hermanson, Rudolph now. I believe it's going to be Rudolph too. Hermanson would be a good one though, Hilly. Let's go Rudolph. Yeah, Rudolph's false stops. I could totally, dude, if they got Rudolph and Tynan Lawrence, that would be just such an unbelievable draft. Right. Salivating. St. Louis would be salivating. Interesting word, but they would be. And then we have Dagenais to Washington. That could be an interesting fit. I could totally see that happening. I've mocked him a couple times to the Blues. It's pretty wide open now. It really is. I can scroll down too if you guys want me to. I'll scroll down right now. If you guys want me to scroll down, you have Malte Gustafsson here, Ilya Morozov. Adam Novotny has not been taken yet. William Hawkinson, got an interview with him today. Really good one. Really good guy. Like a set of cars under the Christmas tree for the Blues. Just not one. So we have two Maddox Dagenais in here. Anybody else? No Liam Ruck here or Malte? We'll give one more or two more comments to come through, but if not, we're going Maddox. Where do I have Vigo going, by the way? I have him ranked in my top 10, and I feel like he might get pushed out of there, but there's no reason for that. He's such a skilled player. I know he's 5'10", but he plays bigger than he is. Every person in Sweden says that this guy is a top 3 talent. So, inch for inch, the guy is top 3 talent. I would take him top 7 right now. I think that a good fit for him would be kind of like the Predators, or not, yeah, kind of like the Predators or the, I could see him on the Predators, but in this board. Oh, okay. In this board, he went 5th. He went 5th. That's kind of crazy. Lawrence still on the board. No. It's Lawrence got drafted to the Blues at 11. So Vigo went 5th to New York Rangers. Sorry for that, but yeah, I'm gonna go Maddox. This is the only answer we've gotten so far for the Capitol, so make the pick, keep it moving. For the Kings at 17, they obviously just traded Liam Greentree for Artemi Panarin. Didn't really work out. I didn't think it really was. It was not their year this year. But in terms of restockpiling their prospects, who do you think they'll go with? Who do the Kings pick? Are you saying why I don't think I love Artemi Panarin. He was my favorite player, like other than Kane and Taves growing up. It's just I thought that the Kings should have known that they were not like contenders. I mean, we're gonna have to go up against someone incredible. They obviously went up against the Avs, which was very, very tough. Kings will trade it. They probably will. But he signed. That is a good point. Yeah, that is a very good point. This is a long-term deal. Or a long-term type of commitment there with Panarin. I want to see if Mikheyev will sign with the Blackhawks, but he's the best penalty killer in the league this year. Dude's going to get paid. They didn't know Fiala would get hurt. That is very true. Details matter. I think they take Morozov. Defenseman, I heard they might be shopping is Brandt Clark. I've heard like he's always in the rumor mill at least a couple times a season. Novotny, if they keep it. Kopitar is gone, so they have a new marquee star. That is true. Sell out jerseys. I don't really even know who we can take at this point. Novotny twice. If they don't, I don't know why they would shop him. I like Brandt Clark. I think any team that is in need of a really good young upside type of defenseman that you kind of need, Brandt Clark is your guy. I think that his name comes up a lot, but it doesn't. They're never really going to trade him. Kings might trade this pick for a center, or is Shilov out of the question here? Who works with Kuzmenko? Honestly, I think Adam Novotny won this one unless we trade it. If anybody has any trade packages for the Kings, let me know. We can do that. Yeah, they want Clark. That is very true. They want him, but they can't get him. I want to just do Novotny here. If they keep this pick. Okay, I'll choose Novotny. Okay. I got you. All right. Washington Capitals at 18. They took Maddox Dagenais, and at 18, who do you think they'll take? Obviously, this pick's not going to be at 18 anymore. The Ducks won last night against the Oilers. So the Sharks will probably pick you, right? Or maybe they pick 19. Yeah, they pick 19. Who else picks 18? No, I'll add that in. Caps take Malte Gustafson. We got 2 Gustafsons already. I actually like that. Malte Gustafson's brother, Vigo, was actually drafted by the Predators in 2024. Kind of reminds me of like a Nicholas Dromerson-esque player with a little more offensive ability. Can move the puck well, can puck handle. I think Malte Gustafson could go in this range for sure. I'm going to select him. But Utah Mammoth at 19. This is the Sharks pick now. Not because of Utah. It's kind of how the dice fell. But I believe. Or maybe it's 19 or 20. I have no idea. I'll update all this stuff after the round's over. But in 4 days, the lottery system's going to end. So it's just going to go straight into the what's it called? The mock draft simulator. Is my audio okay? Is it like ringing? Because I have this microphone. I don't know why it would. Hello. I hope it's not. Got to get that good for the lottery. Like I said, I'll be live for the lottery. We're doing like a big draft lottery party. So join me for that. It'll be free. Appreciate everybody for coming out. We got a couple more picks coming in. We have 14 more picks. So please comment, or 13, but comment down below who you guys think we should take for Utah Mammoth. Morozov for Mammoth. I like that. We didn't get a chance to see Doughty spring loose on the breakaway with injuries. That is unfortunate. Morozov for Mammoth. Anybody else? Anybody else agree or disagree with the Mammoth pick? I actually do like that, though. I like Morozov, too. Yeah, I'm going to go Morozov. That's a really solid pick. He's fallen. They pick him back up. Not a bad pick. San Jose here at 20. Is this where they pick Pipparainen? They need that right-handed defenseman. Yeah, we had 3 Morozovs. I feel like when we get 3 comments, that's when we'll select a player. Let's see. Villeneuve. Yep, Pitt for sure. This is ugly for San Jose. LMFAO or LMAO. Pipparainen. That is a replacement for Ian Cole in a couple of years. Villeneuve is still on the board. Yes. So Pipparainen or Villeneuve? We got 1 for Villeneuve, 2 for Pipparainen. 1 more, and it'll be Pipparainen. 2 more to steal it for Villeneuve. Pippers, we got Pippers. It's over. Villeneuve does not steal that spot. Pipparainen goes to San Jose. Then we got another question for Villeneuve. So Villeneuve is still on the board for the Flyers. Where are they going here at 21? Villy easy. Villeneuve for sure. Let's see. We have 2 for Villeneuve. Cameron's been wanting to get him off board for a while now. We need 1 more Villeneuve, and we did get it. All right, let's do this. Villeneuve for the Flyers. And then Pittsburgh at 22. I think Philly goes upside with Villeneuve. We got 4. Yeah. All right, so we have Pittsburgh at 22. And I know Ryan Lynn is still on the board. Mathis Preston, Liam Ruck, Alton Hermanson, Tommy Blyle, Maxim Sokolovsky, who's a big 6'8" left-handed defenseman. I think Philly goes with, okay, so Lynn, Villeneuve should have been one of the first 5 D-men off the board. I would say 6, but yeah, I agree. Flyers hate Smurfs, the irony of their GM being Briere. Oh, God. Got to replace Letang and Carlson, so that's why you go with Lynn. So we have 1 vote for Lynn. I think they'll take Lynn, so that's 2 for Lynn. We need 1 more for Lynn. Got to do this right by the... All right, Pitt Lynn. Love it. And then Boston at 23 here. So in this mock draft, this would be their first pick, correct? Yeah, because Toronto got 2. All right, so we're winding down. What do you guys think Boston's going to go with this pick? Quick. It's a can't screw up pick there for the Penguins. Boston takes JP Hurlbert. Pitt would have taken a Sioux Greyhound that is available after Reed. Trade. Preston for Boston. So we have Preston, JP Hurlbert. Trade pick 23 to the Hawks for pick 34 and 37. Do you guys like this? If anybody like, this is not a bad one. Hawks take Preston. All right, I can do that. That's kind of interesting. All right, let's do this. We're locking it in. We're going to go 34 and 36 for 23. All right, now Chicago's on. Hawks definitely do not take Preston either. I don't think they would take Preston. All right, who did they take? Let's see. If the Hawks traded up to 23, which honestly is really interesting to me. But Hawks trade to 23. Michael Jordan's number. Hawks would take Liam Ruck. You guys think that would be the case? Smack that like button if you have not. If you have asked a question, heck yeah. I appreciate it. Hawkinson, maybe, I don't know, or Rubric. That would be cool. I'd love Hawkinson to go to the Hawks. But let me know where you guys want to go. Elton Hermanson is still on the board. Pipperainen was already taken. Wyatt Cohen was already taken as well. He went 13 to the Islanders. Chicago took Carson Carroll's left-handed defenseman. Where do you guys think this is going? Hemming was taken. Hemming has been taken. Both anti-Katie picks, Hurlbert or Robrick, best offensive picks, right? Honestly, I'm not sure about that. I mean, Hurlbert is, but I'm not sure. Like, Rubrick has a ton of issues right now in terms of like Marcus Ruck, Liam Ruck. They drafted Mason West. Yeah, Elton Hermanson is still on the board. That's what I was like. I'm pretty surprised. You guys want Elton Hermanson? You guys want me to scroll down? There's some good value too. In terms of up, you've JP Hurlbert still on the board, Alex Command, but at that point you could have got him in the second round. Okay, I'm gonna go with Hermanson as well. I feel like there's a ton of people that are saying Elton Hermanson, so we'll go there. And for the Canucks, who you guys taking at 24? Because this could be a pick for one of the Rucks. This could be a Rucks pick. Liam. We got Liam. We're going to go Liam here. That was a quick one. And then for Montreal at 25 now. They dropped back somehow. Where do you think Montreal will go here? Hermanson is not a left-handed defenseman. Trade to Vancouver for Marcus, 35-36. Rogowski, Vancouver trades for the pick. Montreal takes Rogowski. So we have two Rogowskis. One more Rogowski, and it'll be Rogowski. Trade for Marcus. So that's two trade for Marcuses. Who's trading for Marcus? Vancouver. Yeah, I think Rogowski's going to be the pick here, guys. I think that Vancouver can also trade up from Seattle. Right. So Seattle, do you think Vancouver should trade up from here? Try to get Marcus? Do you think trade Atu Ratzi plus 41 for this pick? What do you guys think about that? Has Atu Ratzi been that good? You think Seattle takes Hurlbert? Let me know what you guys want to do. We got one Hurlbert. maybe Preston, Hurlbert or Preston. I think they go Hurlbert. So if we get one more Hurlbert, we'll go Hurlbert for Seattle. All right, Hurlbert. 2 for Hurlbert, 2 for Preston. One tiebreaker will win it. Let me know, who do you guys want, Preston or Hurlbert? Next person that says it will get to decide. Hurlbert or Preston, guys? What do you guys think? All right, we got Hurlbert. Wait. Yeah, Hurlbert. It's Hurlbert now. Last person said Hurlbert. So New York Rangers at 27. What do you guys think here? We have 6 picks left until this will end, but this was the first mock draft, community mock draft. So Rangers pick, we have 500 people on X, 17 live viewers on YouTube. We've hit about 250 viewers on YouTube already as well. So about 750 people today. You got the draft lottery coming in 2 days or 4 days, sorry, on the 2nd or 5th. Sorry, I'm tired. It's hard for me to see Preston as a first rounder. New York Rangers wouldn't take Preston, but they should. Rangers take Hawkinson. They would take Blyle. We have 2 for Blyle. We need 2 for Hawkinson as well if you want to win it. 1 more to win it for Blyle. So let me know. Do you guys think? We have 18 likes on YouTube. If you guys could try to get that up to 2 more likes for 20, that'll be sweet. It's not really a big difference, but it means a lot. Okay, Blyle won. Tommy Blyle. Playing really well in the queue this year. Explosive skater. Let's go. All right. Calgary Flames here. They have a lot of picks. All right, so where do you guys think the Flames will go? Do you want me to scroll down? We haven't had any answers. You got Marcus Ruck, Mathis Preston still here, William Hawkinson, Pantelis. In terms of the value on the board, Ben McBeath could totally be in this. Nikita Shabagov is a big left-handed defenseman that played more on the right side. Take Preston. I think that they could too. Valentini. Flames take Igor. So we have 3 different players for all with 1 vote. Who did the Flames take earlier? I believe, yeah, they took Caleb Malhotra. Will they go Hawkinson here? Will they go Pantelis? Hextall, just a whim. In that case, I would say Hawkinson. Okay, so we have Hawkinson, Hextall, Preston, or Valentini now. Probably safe with Hawkinson. Okay, Hawkinson. We got Hawkinson. Malte, is that you? You Malte Gustafson? Okay, so William Hawkinson. Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo Sabres here at 29. Let's get the vote on. Pantelis, Preston, Rubrick, Ruck. We can continue to go down. Sokolovsky is a 6'8" defenseman, 240 pounds. Pantelis, we got 1 vote for Pantelis. Sadly not, but as a fellow Swede, I love him. I was just joking around. I talked to Hawkinson this morning. Very early though, because obviously it's Sweden, so I'm pretty tired. Sabres could do Sokolovsky. We got Sokolovsky, 1 vote, 1 vote for Pantelis. Pantelis. So we have 2 votes for Pantelis. 1 more, and we'll select them. We have Cameron coming in with command. I like it. But we got 2 for Pantelis, 1 for Sokolovsky, big 6'8" defenseman, 1 for command. So if we get, it's 3 votes to win. So if Pantelis gets 1 more, we'll lock it in for Buffalo. Kekalainen goes international. He does. 1 more vote, everybody. Just spam the chat, something. We got this. We got this. All right, I'm going to go Pantelis. Yeah. Isildur broke it and said Pantelis. Okay, we're at 30 for the Hurricanes. Which Russian player are they taking this time? Who do you think? Which Gold Star player are they taking? Sounds like a Buffalo pick. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so they could go Maxim Sokolovsky here. Another Russian playing in the OHL, actually. But they could also go Nikita Sherbakov. Carolina takes Yegor Shilov. I like that. Yeah, we got 2 votes for Shilov. 1 more. Yeah. All right, Shilov it is. Yegor Shilov. All right, so for the St. Louis Blues at 31, they took... I got to do it. Oh, okay, so they took... Jackson, Rudolph, and Tynan Lawrence. Who do the Blues take here? Do they go Preston? Hawkinson at 31. I think Hawkinson's drafted, right? Yeah, William Hawkinson went 28th to the Flames. Preston. So we have 1 vote for Preston. Yeah, Tynan Lawrence and Jackson Rudolph is an incredible haul. Marcus Ruck is still available, too. Pantelis was just taken to the Buffalo. Mark. What is up, Mark? Welcome. They gamble on Preston and Rubric. Can you scroll down? Of course. So you have Ben McBeath, Jack Hextall, Pierce Mbui, Marcus Nordmark all the way down here, Vladimir Javecki, Brantford Bulldogs, right-handed defenseman, Jackson Cover. Alexander Command is still here. Beckham Edwards has had just a terrible fall. What do you guys think? We have 21 people in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Still think Command is a first rounder. Jackson Cover is a great gamble too. Yeah. So we have Preston Cover, Aram Olsen, who my company just did a really good video of him. So if you guys want to check that out, go to Draft Pros Hockey. Blues take Ruck. Get the combo going forward. I like that. And also the Flames are Ruck's team because they have Andrew Basha, who they took in the second round a couple years back, and yeah, he is. Yeah, I might go Olsen here. We have 2 votes for him. Now we have 3. All right, we're going Olsen. Yeah, see, so definitely a player to keep an eye on. He's been rising a lot. Really, really productive. I don't know why I still have him 45. I got to push him lower. But to finish off this community mock draft, our first one of the draft year, and we'll be doing these a lot. So stay tuned, like, and subscribe if you guys do like this content. I created this mock draft simulator and the website. I know the Multiplayer didn't work today, but again, as soon as I get off of this, I'm going to be fixing that. Not sure what happened, but we'll get it all fixed up. We have a ton of different things. I'll walk you around the website after. But for the last pick, the Ottawa Senators will select no one. They're not going to take anyone. They're just going to pay the $1 million fine and just leave. Ottawa takes McBeath. Ottawa takes Seamas. Let's see where the balls fall in the lottery. I think the end of the first round this year is not as good as last year, but it's better from like 8 to 16. Interesting. Command. I could totally see Command going here. I actually would like that if Command was here. Or Adam Gollier. Okay, I'll scroll up. One sec. Mathis Preston. Zelensky. Actually, with Zelensky, I actually got to vote for him for the Johnny Gaudreau Award at the USHL. I was the person. I was one of many people that probably nominated him, but he was my nominee. So I'll always remember that. Amazing kid to talk to. Yes. Okay, in terms of this pick, we got Command in here. So Command will finish off this mock draft for the community. Really appreciate everybody that tweeted in and messaged. We have 4 days left until the draft lottery. So this is how the first round went. Obviously, Kevin McKenna and Chase Reed went 1 and 2. Kind of interesting. Malhotra was still on the board, and Blackhawks didn't take him. We went Karsten Carroll's interesting. Ivar Stenberg at 3. You have Vigo Bjorko 5, which I like. I really like community mock drafts because you never really know when a player's going to go. Like Keaton Verhoff at 7. Albert Smith's at 8. Oscar Hemming 9. Ethan Belch is 10. Really interesting. We'll go to 11 through 24. Tynan, Oliver Savanto to the Devils. Wyatt Cullen to the Isles. Nikita Klepov. Let me know your guys' favorite pick here. The Blackhawks traded up for Elton Hermanson for their early 2 second-round picks. Tommy Blyle found his way home. But this is looking like a really good mock draft right here. I love this. Don't like the top. I don't like the teams that won, but not like that. I just think that they had interesting. What draft rankings was used on the right side? Is that yours? It's a mix of mine and consensus, but I want to have like my rankings, then Draft Pros rankings, then like Steven Ellis's rankings and beyond. But it's, again, this is still a beta that just came out on the 18th of April. We've just 100,000 users later in 14 days or 87,000, whatever it is. It's just been kind of blowing up a little. So every time there's a problem or there's too many users, sometimes I'm like, dang, this is crazy. But here's the new website I just did, Skill Web Comparisons. This has been in the back burner for cooking it for a long time, but I wanted to debut it as soon as I possibly could, and now it's out. So you've Gavin McKenna, Caleb Malhotra. If you're looking at their stats, you get everything because I made the database. If there are stats that don't line up, please DM me. It took a very long time. There's over 400 prospects, and I only got in about 300. So I still have about 100 left. Skating, I just you can actually create these. So if you go here, create your own grades, you could go, all right, I want to, well, you're in view comparison, but you could compare. There's 301 prospects here. You could go, okay, I want the skating at a 9, whatever it is, but hockey IQ at a 9. You could say projection at a 10, and then it'll just change the web a little bit. You guys want to do this, and then you can write a little snippet on here and then save. So you put your email in if you guys wanted to do this, then you could save, so you get to have all of it. You can see the NHL player room where you just type in anything. It'll be like, oh, I want to see Bobby McMahon, and be like, oh, what is he doing? You could go there. We have our scouting reports on here, and this one, the big board. This is the ranking site, so you can check out my rankings. You could also create your own rankings here. You can use a spreadsheet or screenshot of your rankings, and then the AI will help put it through. If you want to use the Prospect on AI, I programmed him to know everything that I know as much as I could. Like, what is consciousness? Maybe he'll answer. I definitely spelled that incorrectly. But I was using one hand. That's outside my wheelhouse. Yeah, sometimes I just ask it strange questions, and it's like, I don't know. But it's kind of just the guy I am. But in terms of the other pages, we have the scouting tool. You go to the generator, scouting report generator. I want to take AI out of this. This was just a formatting thing, and I think I overly did it. So definitely going to fix that. That's in beta, so don't check that out yet. I'm just saying it's going to be there. We have all the prospects here too, so you can kind of check everybody out. See, I got to put the pictures in that I took at the combine, or not the combine, the World Juniors. At the same time, we've been doing a lot of stuff. So if you want to launch the draft simulator, you click this button or any button. You go, and I do not believe the leaks page is working yet. Yeah, so the leaks page is in beta. This is the old one, but you go to the picks right here. You could see the picks. You could see who the Blackhawks took or whatever team you are. You could see the picks. This is an error here on this yellow. I'm trying to get this out, but again, not really know what's wrong with that. If you go to the news section, you could see my interviews. Anton Frondel, Caleb Malhotra, Tynan Lawrence with Nathan Grav, great YouTuber. I have an interview with Blackhawks Hall of Famer Jeremy Roenick, Vaslav Nestrasil, James Haggins. I have so many more. Matthew Schaefer. I have like about 100 that I have to put in there, but at the same time, you guys can go to the community page, see if there's public draft rooms open once the multiplayer is better. No one really uses this page, honestly, but it's buried away in the back. But we also have a redraft page, so you could go here. You could check your redrafts, see exactly which team you want, or you can redraft it all. You go here, select standard draft, and then you could pick Artem Levshunov #1 overall because he definitely deserves to be that pick. You could go Celebrini 2. Kind of go Beckett Seneca after that. He's looked good. I think he's pretty undraftable. Ivan Demidov at this point in his career. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, this is all. I'll be back on tomorrow. I have a ton of stuff dropping. So really appreciate it that you guys are watching and stuff. Perfect for the fantasy draft. Such a good feature. Which one? Let me know. Here's to moving on. What? Yeah, so. Lots of room for content, so I'd assume you need a pretty good computer now. I definitely do. ESPN. Yeah, but I'm just so focused on trying to get the site to be the best it can be. Sometimes I stay up too late. Sometimes I have to wake up in the morning way too early, and it's kind of catching up to me, but you just kind of do what you love. Yeah, just got to keep pushing. If you guys like any of the stuff, then please use it. If not, we're going to try to bring in more features to get everybody something. That was my fantasy draft. I'm looking for a new drafting team. Hang out. The site looks amazing so far, Don. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It took months and months, nearly a year to build, and the quotes I was getting for creating this were insane. So I was like, all right, I'll just do it myself. And we got a prospect pool tab too. So if you go to the prospect pools, you could see like the Blackhawks, and Roman Kanserov if you want to see his stats up since he was like 10. Go to the GM tab. You could build lines with NHL, AHL prospects and the players you draft. So if you did get like do a 7-round mock, those players will actually end up here. But if you don't want to do a mock, you go here, and then you could bring Gavin McKenna with Connor Bedard. And also, you can trade anyone you want, players, picks, whatever it is. I put the database in as well, but again, there's so many more players I need to add. Let's say you're looking for, I gotta push this up too, and it's too blurry for my liking. Let's say like Tyler Bertuzzi for Jimmy Snuggerud, Robert Thomas, Logan Mailloux, Colton Parayko, because this is a good trade. See? Let's see. And then the Blues just accidentally execute. So now they would have all these players in the system. So I'd play Colton Parayko on the top line, even though he's a defenseman. Logan Mailloux on the right wing. Robert Thomas, fourth line center. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. I'd put Vigo Bjork as a checking forward on the fourth line. This is how my team would look. That's bread and butter. Don, a draft engine. I love it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the support. I think I chatted my way out of that Isles Never Say Die draft team. I was too chatty like happy. How could I coordinate with you on a mutual channel advertising in the future? Just starting out. Just DM me on the Prospect Dawn. Dream scenario for the Blackhawks. Yeah, right. Tyler Bertuzzi for we can actually build a McDavid trade one of these days. I'm gonna be on till like 1 p.m. or starting my live streams at 1 p.m. CT usually before the lottery. And then after that, I got to go to the combine and stuff. But I got a couple interviews. I got Wyatt Cullen coming on, Malte Gustafsson. I forgot one other one. And then I have Landon DuPont video coming out, Nikita Klepov, Pantelis, Mikey Burchild, Luke Shire. Yeah. And William Hawkinson, which I did today. Again, really early time. Like, it's so crazy. He can't even watch the playoffs because they're starting at like 1 or 4 a.m. It's kind of weird. That could be a fun stream idea. That could be. I got a lot of them. A lot of great ideas. Oh, that's a nice pun. Yeah, I'm a fun guy. Yeah, I think this is it. I have not eaten today, but I don't really care. I'm trying to lose weight so that I look extremely good for the draft. Everybody knows how great my draft photos look, so got to continue to do that. But if you guys want to ask me anything, I'll still answer the questions. We're beating ESPN Chicago right now in views, so they should start to call us soon. I mean, honestly, I feel like that would be a great option for them to be like, hey, you should come on, but they don't care about me. But in terms of, we got some sick plays from Elton Hermanson here. Oh my God. The hands. Adam Guyan did that. All right. I mean, the defender didn't have a stick, but. Yeah. He almost did a Bedard. I mean, his hands have always been good. Elton Hermanson's hands have been fantastic throughout the years. But this is me. I lost like 20 pounds since then, but look at that. Look at this guy. In terms of this, we have 17,700 followers, so thank you guys so much for that. I did a new YouTube video out with Pucks and Dreams. He was answering a lot of questions. Head scout North America for Gold Star. Really cool to have him on. Like he knows a lot about a lot of these guys. We were joking that he might be scouting some of the 2025 birth year players, which would be like one. So we were obviously joking, but I thought it was kind of funny. And he laughed. He thought it was great. He was like, wow, this is great. In terms of the YouTube channel right now, we're doing some good things. We got Scott Wheeler on. You know, this was great. He went super in depth of everything. And then we had Grav on. So that was cool. Grav's great. Now we have this video. So when we have 1 like, this is great. We are exploding right now. But in terms of that, yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys Lotto Ball Day, don't be late. 100%. I'm going to be streaming for like 3 hours beforehand too. I think it starts at 7. I'll be on at like 4. That's my Super Bowl. It's my Christmas. What are you going to ask Roenick about? I already interviewed him. I asked him a lot of good stuff. I feel like it was a interesting interview because he was outside and the internet kept crashing. So I was just excited to do it. He was my late father's favorite player. So I was like, cool. In terms of that, I already got Lana DuPont done. So I just have to post that. LA with the flow. Wow. Wait, are you talking about oh my god, what's his name? I can't even think of it. The linebacker does all the Head and Shoulder commercials. I can't even think of his name. But it's not that. Oh, this is gonna crush me here. I gotta look this up. Troy Polamalu, of course. He sells Head and Shoulders. Yeah, Troy Polamalu. Pia Tasamauso. There was a cult classic movie called Swingers. It was Vince Vaughn's first movie, I think. And they were playing NHL 94, and he used the Blackhawks and made Wayne Gretzky head bleed with Roenick. LOL. That's crazy. I have heard of that movie, but I've never seen it. I've seen Wedding Crashers. Pretty cool movie. But in terms of that, yeah, I'm gonna get off. I've been on for almost 3 hours, so thank you guys so much for tuning in and spending the time with me. I appreciate everybody for being here. I didn't actually even know I was on for 3 hours. I thought I was on for like an hour and a half. So I definitely have to rethink my time in terms of that. I have so many things I got to do, but I appreciate everybody for being on or watching. Sorry, I'm so tired. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. You're right. See you guys.